Okay, hi everyone. This is just a video about my thoughts about long distance running. I've just come across a fantastic cartoon on theoatmeal.com. And it's a comic about running. I'll put the link to this one in the description below, but I found it very, very funny. I properly laughed out loud while reading this. And quite a few of the things in it I kind of relate to as well. Just have a little read of it, and it's a cartoon. It's really good. But what I was saying is that at the weekend I was taking photos of a 5K race. I was just volunteering, taking photos of people doing the race, so people can see all their shots on Facebook and stuff. And there was something that kind of came across me while I was watching it, is that out of I think maybe there's about 400 people that did the race. Out of the 400 people, it's only a 5K race. I reckon I only saw about 10 or 15 people who actually looked like they were not so much enjoying it, but enjoying the run, enjoying themselves. It was a weird thing, and like even from the start, just kind of like a photo analysis of some stuff, is everyone's face just looks like they're in pain. And what I imagine is a lot of people are going for their PBs. You know, they're trying to get their fastest run, they're trying to prove that they're fitter, they're trying to get around faster and all that kind of stuff. And the enjoyment, I think, comes at the end once they've beaten their personal best, or they've done something that's proved that the work that they have done has been, you know, for a point. But the actual action of a long distance run, or a 5 like a half-hour jog, or these guys at the front were probably doing it in about 16-17 minutes, doesn't look enjoyable, and it just doesn't look right for us to be in that much pain for that amount of time. And I was trying to think in any other kind of situation where we would do this. I was thinking of like other sports. I was thinking team sports, that doesn't really count, because that's usually stop and start. You've got rugby, you've got football, you know, every so often you get the ball, you'd run, you'd sprint, you would do what needs to be done. Basketball, same again, you get the ball, it's more repetitive, but it's just you run to the end and you shoot and then you get it and then you walk back. There's very few things where it's a constant banging, banging, banging. Then there's sports like rowing. So yeah, rowing and cycling are kind of sports like that, where you're doing it for a long time. Again, with rowing, that's kind of a full body exercise. Yeah, I suppose that's fine. Cycling, it's just all the legs again. And again, I don't think you see many people looking happy during it. But sports that I do, stuff like weight training, very short, like sprint training, stuff like that. Skiing, snowboarding, at most you're going hard at it for maybe 5 minutes down a hill. And then once you get down to the bottom, you're like, cool, that's me done 5 minutes, and then it's time for a rest. So the thought, like for me, a 27-30 minute pounding of the street definitely just seems alien, just seems bizarre. And like all these faces, you don't get many people, like he's looking like he's okay, he's not looking like he's too in pain or anything like that. But it does seem like there is a pain, both in muscles, yeah, like he's totally loving it. There's people who are kind of muscular pain, joint pain, heart and lung pain, you know, just breathing. Like whenever I did it last time, I was breathing, like people walked past me or jogged past me and asked me, are you okay? Just because I couldn't breathe hard enough to get enough oxygen in. I was going all the way around. And there's definitely something which is just, I only think a very select few people are, I don't know, genetically or evolutionary made to do this kind of jogging. So what I'm not saying is humans aren't meant to jog long distance. I fully believe that we are meant to do it long distance. If you ever read Born to Run, the book all about barefoot running, I totally dig that. Yeah, absolutely. The idea that humans, Homo sapiens, other than not our Neanderthals, Homo sapiens were designed to run for long distances. But what I don't think we were designed for is to run for a relatively long distance as hard as possible. So if I would say if you're going down to something like a park run or something like that, it's a 5k, just doing it casually is spot on. If trying to get a PB as fast and as hard as you can, there's very few people whose bodies I think are really made for that. Like, I reckon you see Mo Farah doing 5Ks, 10Ks, he's smiling the whole way through. He is made for that kind of thing. At no point does he look like he's in pain or depressed or upset or anything like that. He's just loving the whole kind of thing. And I think there are certainly people who are in that. So I'm not just meaning that it's not just skinny people. It might be people who are a little bit bigger, a little bit chunkier, or whatnot. But I would say the majority, more than 70% of people who do these jogs, I think they are definitely pushing the boundaries of their fitness, pushing the boundaries of their mental capability and all that kind of stuff, and generally benefiting from it. Benefiting in the short term is the only thing I say, because like I've done a video before where I talk about adventure cardio, and that's where I think if you go back to our Neanderthal, our caveman times, again, this was something which was in, was it Born to Run? I think it was a book called Born to Run, where the idea of the long distance hunt, the something where you would just chase down an animal for as long as possible until the animal dies. The human can run longer than what a horse can run, and you just like chase after the horse goes, oh my god, there's a person, runs away. The person just keeps on jogging after it, sees the horse sees the person, runs away, and after like 2 days the horse is like going, oh horse, oh my god, dead. And persistence kill, I think is what it was called. And humans are just able to just keep on jogging, and I think the idea of the just keep on jogging, not the must jog, is the difference. And so this is a minor, tiny minor kind of thing. And I think it's taking it from pushing yourself to being your top 80 to 100% of effort for as long as you can, for like half an hour, to doing it between your 50 and 75%. So I think the stuff in the persistence kills, or the persistence hunts, you're not going at it like what most of these people here, or myself included, would have been going at it for like half an hour, because then after half an hour you're absolutely pooped. I think, and is the same in weight training as well. Somebody was saying to me the other day is leave some in the tank. And I think if you're doing something like this, you should always have something in the tank for the sprint at the end. If you think about it in terms of evolutionary times, yeah, you want to just keep on plodding, get to wherever you're going, find the animal, keep on plodding after it, find a little animal, and then once it's at its weakest, you want to have enough in the tank for you to do, right, I'm doing my 5-minute sprint, or 5 minute as hard as I can to get up to the animal there. And I think I'm sure I read somewhere where it's talking about ultra runners or ultra long distance runners, and it's saying their average speed is actually really bloody slow. Is almost at a plodding pace. What was it? There's something about there's an Australian race which is like over 500 miles, maybe 300 miles, and all these ultramarathon runners, fitness guys, all rock up at the start. They're all stretching and all getting ready for it. And it's like a 7-day race. And then some old farmer guy comes along in his work boots and just comes up to the start line and goes, hey, I want to do this run. And they go, oh my god, we're not going to see you at all. Okay, so at the start line, the guy goes, bang, off you go. And all the ultra runners just go, boom, sprint off, long strides, feeling great and all that kind of stuff. And the old farmer just kind of starts flopping along, and I think they've even named the way that he runs after him now. It was like his. Hold on, I'll find out. Yeah, found it. It was a guy called Cliff Young, who I think he was like 61 at the time. What does it say here? So the Sydney to Melbourne ultra marathon. He was 61 years old, potato farmer, and he won it. It was a 544-mile race, and he won the race by over 10 hours. And he's saying what he did is that he ran at a slow, lopping pace and trailed the leaders for most of the first day. So all the first leaders were like, oh, must go, and he's like, plod, 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 plod. But then, while all the ultra runners were then sleeping, this guy just kept on jogging. So he still had stuff in the tank, and saying by the first night he maintained it for the remainder of the race, eventually winning by 10 hours. In fact, and it's saying something here, maybe I'm getting all a little bit confused here, but it took him 5 days and 15 hours and 4 minutes to do the race. Almost 2 days faster than any previous record holder. Wow. Okay, cool. So, and it's the whole kind of case of the tortoise and the hare kind of idea. And so that was called, called the Young Shuffle, was the way that he ran for that. And so that's what I'm thinking, is like, for me, my idea of adventure cardio, just go off, get lost, don't really have a plan of going anywhere, or find somewhere and then just figure out how to get there, and have the enjoyment of just finding your way to get somewhere. And I kind of think that that's what we're made for. We're made for the long plod, not the hard attacking for half an hour kind of stuff, or at least the majority of us, I would say, are. And so what I was saying is like the idea of the cavemen kind of style. They're talking about they'd always hunt in families. You'd have the kind of elders at the front who were doing the scanning of the ground, checking where the animals had been, looking at the direction that they're going, the kind of time that they'd been there, and the whole family would move in the pack. And then after the elders had got to the point where we're getting pretty close, then the young ones would come along and kind of pick up the speed, and then it'd be the kind of youngest and fittest ones would do the sprint at the end. So again, all of it was like slow, speeding up, and then at the end it was a sprint. So that's kind of what I think, and you even see it in stuff like the marathon runs and the 5Ks. People do, or certainly if you watch Mo Farah going round, you'll see all of them are going a heck of a lot slower in the first couple of laps than what they do at the end. They're all absolutely tanning it at the end. So, yeah, it's an interesting thing, and it's just something which I think in general we are definitely able to do our 50 to 75% effort for almost an indefinite amount of time, but pushing ourselves between the 80 and 100 or 110% of effort destroys us so much that pretty much after, I reckon a lot of people that do this race are absolutely shattered the next day, or, you know, especially if they've just got a new PB, I reckon are pretty shattered. But there's just not very many people that, certainly from the outset of it, look like they enjoy it, or look like they're happy from it. If you were to analyze all these people's faces, you would kind of go pain, unhappy. Well, he looked focused. He looked focused and determined. It's like pain, and again, looks like he's like, I'm here, I'm happy, I'm not really suffering at all that kind of stuff. But did he get a PB? That's what I want to know. So yeah, just a thought, just an idea. If you're sitting on the toilet, sitting in the bath, watching this video, just think about, what do you think your body really likes, what it benefits from, both, not just your body, but also kind of mentally as well. It's like, is attacking it as hard as you can, or the hardest you've ever done, for 15, 20, 30, an hour, what, a marathon, 4 hours, 6 hours, is that in any way what we were designed for, in relative to just kind of doing that kind of distance again, but at a much more chilled out pace? I definitely think my idea of adventure cardio is definitely, certainly the thing for me. Attacking it for a long period of time, definitely not what my body enjoys. Anyway, thought of the day. There you go. Bye.